What's good, Commanders family? Welcome to another episode of Everything Commanders. Listen, the Washington Commanders has signed several free agents over the past couple of weeks addressing the trenches, one of the biggest needs coming into the offseason, whether it was trading for Laremy Tunsil or signing the likes of Javon Kinlaw or signing all the other old vets that we brought in to help the trenches. However, I kind of feel like that we just might be overlooking the youth that was drafted last year onto this roster. It's several players on this roster that's poised to have a breakout year. Let's talk about it.
Welcome to Everything Commanders with your host, Dream Team Buddha. Hail to the Commanders.
Before we get into this video, if you will, do me a kind favor, hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel or if you've just been enjoying these videos. Listen, I have set aside a small goal for us, y'all, and that is to reach 1K subscribers, 1,000 subscribers by the NFL draft. Help this channel grow. The more you subscribe, the more you watch, the more you like, share, comment, it helps this channel grow. I greatly appreciate each and every last one of y'all. Now let's get into this video. All right, so listen, before I get into the players I feel that's poised to have a breakout year, I want to talk about a few other things, y'all. Now listen, the state of free agency right now and what we've done, I think we had 73, if I'm not mistaken, players that signed, like that's on the roster, should I say. Like I told you all, we have to get to 90 players. I don't think that we're going to make much more moves before the NFL draft. At this point, you may see a move or two here and there, 1-year deals, no big name signings. It ain't too many people that's left that you can consider a big name signing other than Trey Hendrickson. I don't think we're going to make any moves. I think that they're pretty much done. They addressed the trenches. They can't address it no more unless it's a pass rusher, right? And with that being said, you all seen Cincinnati has spent a lot of money on their wide receiver duo, and Joe Burrow got paid last year, and the next person up right now is Trey Hendrickson. The Bengals put out a statement saying that they are working to get a deal done with Trey Hendrickson. At this point, I don't think we're going to get Trey Hendrickson. I kind of felt like that about a week back after I put up a video on Trey Hendrickson being locked up. I feel like they really don't want to get rid of Trey Hendrickson. Although they granted him permission to seek a trade, they don't really want to get rid of him. So I kind of felt like, yeah, we making moves. We trying to do what we can do to make sure that we don't miss out on prospects or free agents while they sit over there and drag their feet. However, I just really don't think, I just don't see us making another move to get him if they're not going to come down on their price. And they really not trying to come down on their price. Like I said, they trying to keep him. Now, if he's still on the roster come draft time, be on the lookout because it might be a move being made. It might be a move being made. If they don't get a deal done by the draft, right, and he has not been traded already, he might be traded on draft day. I'm just saying, that's the only way I see them trading for him. Right now, I don't think they're going to trade for him or be able to get him or whatever. So the Trey Hendrickson situation, we pretty much could put that to bed because I don't think anything going on with that. Far as Laremy Tunsil talked to the media yesterday, and I started to do a video on it, but I wanted to actually, enjoy the video to see what he had to say because I know that, a lot of people say that he can't, he's not a good run blocker or whatnot. And everybody was trying to figure out, well, why was the Houston Texans just so willingly, they wanted to trade him. Why were they willing to trade him so easily? You know what I'm saying? And so it just drew some curiosity from myself and a host of others as to why that took place and why they wanted to do it. And in his interview, in his press conference, he said that they just wanted to go younger. They wanted to pay their younger guys. And they understood that with the amount of money that he was eating up on the cap space that they just had to move on. They wanted to re-sign some guys. And you see they gave Dirk Stingley Jr. a lucrative contract, 3 years, $90 million, the highest paid cornerback DB, period, in the NFL. So they wanted to get some deals done, so they felt like it was a good thing for them to move on and make a big splash trade like they did with the Washington Commanders. Both teams won the trade. I don't think it was a loser in the trade. I think both teams got better. We got our left tackle of the future, well, for the next 3 years, and they got some draft picks to kind of start building around C.J. Stroud. The same thing we trying to do with Jaden Daniels. So also he spoke about, they was asking him a whole lot of questions, trying to get a lot out of him. And I wanted to see how he was going to respond, whether he was a yes man or he was one of the type of guys that could lay back in his style and just, handle the press as well without giving out so much information. He sure did that, okay? They asked him about a contract extension. Is he looking for a contract extension or whatever the case may be? And he was saying, Adam Peters and this organization, they know where I stand. They know where I stand. So he didn't shed light on it. He just, hey, ain't none of y'all business. If it's gonna get done, it's gonna get done. That letting me know that, of course, he probably do want a contract extension, but he willing to bust his tail off just to actually show that he's worthy of it. And of course, coming in, we already know he's worthy of it. And he was like, I don't think they would have traded for me if they didn't need me. And the thing that stuck out to me the most and what he said was, he can't wait to block for Jaden Daniels. Okay? Do you know that? I feel like that one child, when the parent is giving you that security, you just know your pop's gonna always be there for you, whatever case may be. Listen, he is so excited to block for Jaden Daniels. To know that Jaden Daniels gonna have that type of protection on his blind side, on the left side of the field. Whoo, it makes my heart smile just to know that, because I kind of felt like, what everybody's saying, that he can't block the run. He just a great pass blocker. Like, how would he fit in with this offensive line? Like, how could he gel with this offensive line, right? And he pretty much said that when he coming in, he just going to pretty much try to fit into what they're doing. He's not trying to change anything. He's not going to try to implement the way he do things. He's going to come in and be a team player. And that's the best thing. That's the way I would recommend that you could do for joining the new team. You want to come in, adapt to their play style, the way they play, and then you could be the leader that you are and help the likes of Brandon Coleman or one of the young guys that's on the line or whatever, just to help groom people. So I know I'm rambling about Laremy Tunsil, and this is about the players that I feel are poised to have a breakout year. So we're gonna get to it. So like I said, the Trey Hendrickson situation pretty much put that to bed. Laremy Tunsil had his situation. He talked about what it's gonna be like to play for the Commanders and whatnot. All right. So let's move on. What we all here for, right? Now, before we get there, I want to say this. A lot of us has overlooked the moves that was made in the first year of this new regime, right? Last year, Adam Peters, when he went into the draft, although we won a lot of games, they were focused on drafting and building the foundation of what it's like to be a commander. They were looking for players that they can call commanders. And what I mean by that is, this is pretty much the foundation. So they wasn't just trying to draft the most known prospect or whatever the case may be. They went best player available, just so that way they can work on the core of commanders for the future. So in that draft, they drafted a lot of young players that raw, like these players that I'm about to talk about. And one of them made it on the team from an undrafted free agent. Like, he got signed after the draft. But everybody ain't Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels was bought here to be the future, and Jaden Daniels exceeded expectations of everybody in the world, okay? So we got a lot out of Jaden Daniels and Mikey Sainristil. However, these guys I'm about to talk about were raw, and they got another season under their belt, and I'm pretty sure they attacked in the offseason just like any wily vet would. First up, the first person I want to talk about is let's say Jordan McGee. Let's go Jordan McGee. All right. So Jordan McGee, if you all haven't been paying attention because he hasn't been on the field like that last year, he was drafted last year, and he's supposed to have been a dog at linebacker, right? But for whatever reason, he just couldn't stay on the field. He had injury after injury. He had 2 injuries or whatever the case may be. And I feel like he could have possibly came back and played a little sooner. But when he hurt his, I think he injured his elbow or something like that in the preseason or something like that. And they put him on injured reserve. So he was out for the first 6 weeks or something like that, I believe. And they was looking for him to, slowly but surely, work his way into the scheme and actually get value production at the position, good play time. However, like I said, he couldn't stay off the daggone injured reserve or whatever the case may be. But when he was in there, he was learning behind Bobby Wagner. He actually is Bobby Wagner's replacement. They drafted him so that, Bobby Wagner could teach him the ropes and he could potentially be our linebacker for the future. They brought Bobby Wagner back this year. Jordan McGee has learned a whole year under Bobby Wagner. Although he didn't play as much as Bobby Wagner, but he learned a whole year under Bobby Wagner and Frankie Louvu. What you got to understand is these rookies that I'm talking about, these players that I'm talking about, they have a whole year under their belt. They've learned so much. You should see a whole lot of production out of these players. Jordan McGee is that type of player. He has blazing fast speed. He is a sure tackler. And of course he can work on his instincts, but I believe he's going to be a dog for this team. So I'm looking forward to seeing Jordan McGee have a breakout year. And when I say breakout year, I don't mean be the best linebacker on the team. I'm talking about have a monumental progression from season 1 to season 2. Because like I said, I feel like when they drafted, they did the draft solely, and trying to get raw talent and build players up type situation versus every player they got, they needed them to actually go out on the field and contribute right away. They wanted to, develop, because like I said, this staff is great for developing players. Okay. So Jordan McGee was the first person I wanted to talk about. I think I could see his role getting bigger and him contributing more, especially with Bobby Wagner, coming back for another season. They're going to pretty much diminish his role just a little bit, but not too much because you can't keep Wagner off the field, okay? But just to give Jordan McGee more opportunities, I look forward to seeing that happen. Next up, y'all already know this person. And I had high hopes for this guy coming out last year, Luke McCaffrey. Now, I know some of y'all been saying, we need to get this wide receiver, that wide receiver, and this, that, and the fourth, and we need to... Listen, Luke McCaffrey can ball. His first year, he had a lot to learn. He's still learning, I'm sure. But I'm sure he's attacking the offseason like the McCaffreys would. His whole family, his whole line, his brothers, his fathers, all of them got this background of athlete. You know what I'm saying? So I truly believe he's going to come back bigger, stronger, faster, and wiser. You know what I'm saying? Just like Jaden Daniels. I think Jaden Daniels doing the same thing right now. All our players are getting better. And they are all in the same system, y'all. The same system. So listen, it's a bright future ahead of us. Like, I know we try and get all these different players, this, that, and the fourth. We cannot forget about the players that we drafted last year. And I know y'all used to us drafting players and then we be done with them after we draft them for 1 year. But listen, this, like I said the last time, this coaching staff knows how to develop players, y'all. Luke McCaffrey should have a bigger role this year. So don't be surprised. Don't be surprised if Luke McCaffrey have a bigger role than some of them vets that we just brought back. Just keep a close eye on that, dog. Keep a close eye. And the next person I want to talk about is raw talent. He was undrafted. He made this team as a special team player. And you know, we thinking about this guy, and I was gonna say his name, Tyler Owens. Tyler Owens. Go look him up. Number 40 with the Commanders. Go look him up. We worried about a Jeremy Chin, re-signing Jeremy Chin, right? But we weren't able to do that, and we signed Will Harris to a 2-year deal. But have you seen the strong safety, free safety? He could play both. Tyler Owens. The boy look. And now I know Sean Taylor is Sean Taylor, and I'm not saying he could play like Sean Taylor, but from his physique and how he look out there, when Slim, he looked like a monster, okay? And he played like it. He hit hard. He's great on special teams. He's fast as I don't know what. And I think he's like, 6'2", 6'3"? Listen, we have to keep our eyes glued to the screen when it comes to Tyler Owens. He got hurt to end the season, like 3 games before the season was over, so they put him on injury reserve or something like that. But he contributed a lot to the special teams. Why do you think our special teams was top notch? We had one of the best special teams in the NFL. Outside of field goal kicking, you know what I'm saying? I'm just talking about as far as like kickoff return coverage and whatever the case may be. Like he was one of our key special teams players. Tyler Owens is the player that I really want to see progress and succeed in this team, in this defense. So hopefully he can work his way out there onto the field and get more reps this year. And last but not least, the guy that I wanted to talk about, he's pretty much an honorable mention, but we already know, you know, with all these signings being signed, all these free agents being signed in the trenches, nobody is giving Johnny Newton a chance. Why would you go draft Javon Kinlaw? I mean, why would you go sign Javon Kinlaw and you could have re-signed Jonathan Allen? It don't work like that. Jonathan Allen wanted more money. He wanted out. What they got Javon Kinlaw for was probably $10 million less per year compared. But, you know, and it's unfair to compare Javon Kinlaw to Jonathan Allen. That's 2 totally different type of players. One is the finesse, smaller side. He is a pass rusher, whereas though Javon Kinlaw is more so on the Deron Payne side, even though he's bigger than Deron Payne, but he's more of a run stuffer / pass rusher. But don't forget about Johnny Newton, y'all. He's my number 1 player out of this bunch of 4 that I feel is poised to have a breakout year. My number 1 player, Johnny Newton, y'all. Have y'all been paying attention last year? The boy has been getting better and better. And just imagine how bigger, stronger, faster he'll be this year. He has a high motor that won't quit. He always in pursuit. Even when the play is behind him, he's still chasing. He's chasing down ball carriers. He is always working, y'all. Jonathan Allen replacement is Johnny Newton. If you ain't know that already, I mean, it's plain as day, it's clear as day that you can see they drafted him to replace Jonathan Allen. But y'all was looking for him to give you 10 sacks or whatever the case may be. Listen, the longer he played, the better off he'll be. Johnny Newton will have a big role in this defense this year. I know they signed Wise and Goldman and Kinlaw and Day, Shelton Day. Johnny Newton. Keep an eye out for Johnny Newton. Breakout season is poised. breakout season is definitely going to happen. Remember, I said it hit first. All right, so listen, if you haven't already, because I'm finna get out of here. If you haven't already, and you're new to the channel, or if you just be watching all the time, you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button. Turn the bell notification on, so that way you'll be able to know every time we drop a video about our Washington Commanders. Okay. Yeah. So like I said, we're on the road to 1K, and we're trying to get there before the NFL draft. If you would like to help, it don't cost a thing. It's free. It's free. Just hit that subscribe button. I appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all like, y'all share this video, and that's gonna do it for your boy. Left hand up. Who are we? The Commanders.